Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Wesley Days, and welcome to another edition of the Lynn Lowdown. Today, my guest is attorney Michael Satterwhite. He is here to speak to us about a wonderful project that he has going on in the Lynn community. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. I want to start with the scholarship program that you're working on for students in the Lynn area that, affects students of color. I mean, students of color, rather, students who are dealing with family members with addiction, mental health issues. So can you tell our audience what your scholarship program really hopes to aim for?
Okay, so my mother passed away on the 19th of August, and her name was Brenda Ann Bale. So when it happened, it happened very suddenly, and we were traumatized by it because, this is our mother. So one of the things that we came together and we said, well, what can we do? And one of the things is building a solid legacy for her. And we thought, well, what best way to do it than to put together a scholarship that could benefit students that have family or guardians that are dealing or have dealt with drug addiction or mental health issues. My mother dealt with both, and they go hand in hand. She self-medicated with drugs to help with her mental health issues that occurred while she was younger through childhood trauma. She lost her dad before her second birthday, and that caused her mother to go heavily into drugs and also self-medicate the trauma she experienced from that. So it just, I can remember it being in elementary school and, kids asking about my parents, and I would make up stories about my mother because I wasn't necessarily proud of the drug use or the mental health issues, but there's that stigma that people have about those things, and there's a story behind it. If you sit down and learn about it, you might be able to talk to people and help them change, because during the latter parts of my mother's life, she was able to get clean and deal with her mental health issues and actually be there for us when we needed her the most. And I think that a lot of people that suffer from mental health or drug addictions don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And there is one. You just got to be persistent, and you gotta really work at it. So I want to be able to, so the scholarship will be given to, we'll select them at the end of the 10th grade, so we can then mentor and support them through the 11th and 12th grade. And then once they, pick a college or some sort of career that they want to go in that needs some sort of certificate, we would give them $2,000 scholarships. But during the 11th and 12th grade, the support that I'm thinking of has to do with, possibly job placements during the summer, finding mentors that can mentor them in activities that they like, stuff like that. So it's not just here's money, you go away. It takes more than that. Someone that knows that they can talk to the kids and let them know that they're not alone. And my brother and my sister are both actively involved in it, and they can speak of their experiences too. So it's
absolutely, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And so I want to, you kind of moved great into my next question, the logistics of the scholarship. So it's $2,000 for each of the 5 recipients of the award, and it's also included with mentoring from your program and with you and your family.
Correct.
Which is amazing. But what are you looking for in a candidate? I know that it has to be someone who has a guardian or family member who is taking care of them with mental health or addiction issues. But a lot of times scholarships also base it off of a GPA or a test score or a number, a quantity of something. Can you explain to us what you're looking for in an ideal candidate for your scholarship?
So the ideal candidate is someone that is really ready to grasp what life has unfortunately brought to them, but is also serious about furthering their education or their career. So you just can't apply and get $2,000 and that's it. There needs to be a plan in place as to what you're going to do. I wasn't the best student in school, and it went with how my life was at home. My mom I didn't have to go to school, and I was kept back a few times. So, that obviously impacted me. And I know that when you have this type of lifestyle or this type of household, school can definitely be a challenge for you. So that's why I think the 10th grade is vital, because you start taking the SATs and preparing for college in the 11th grade, and then the 12th grade is typically when you start sending out the application. So it could be a cleanup period where we can definitely assist these students in making sure that whatever goal they have, we can help them get to that particular point. So I haven't, we haven't set a GPA. Obviously, the student needs to have a decent enough GPA in order to get into school or to a program. So that's something that we're gonna, look further into and be fair on that, because again, not only do they have the challenges of school, but they have the challenges of a home life.
Absolutely. So I want to also talk about the the program, but also about the school semester that we're in right now. And I know that you serve as a school committee member. So I wanted to talk to you about, how did the school board come to the decision or help in the decision-making process that Lynn school students will be staying home this fall semester?
Well, in the beginning, we met several times to discuss what the school year was going to look like. But we're at the local level. Ultimately, DESE or the governor can obviously override what we decide. So they came out with rules, suggestions that if you were in a red district, that you should start fully remote. So we were in a red district when that came out, and that's why we decided to start there. But I was always pushing for fully remote, only because I have a daughter who goes to Pickering, and I didn't want to send her to the school. So if they did a hybrid, the school district did set up a remote academy. So even if you don't feel, if they do a hybrid model, even if you don't feel safe sending your kid in, you can opt out and do fully remote for the rest of the year through this other program. So we're doing really a sliding scale. So November 20th is when we're going to make the second decision as to if we're going to stay fully remote or go hybrid. But we just don't have the capability or the space to do full in person, not with the guidelines that DESE set about the spaces between desks and everything else. So I think eventually we could be at a hybrid type model, but I really, I don't know with regards to that, but how we got to the decision was really the guidance and obviously the feedback that we received from the community.
Absolutely. And so I have a couple final questions about your program. So within the next year, within the next academic year, where do you hope to see your program take place? Or where do you hope to see it in the next year?
I would hope to see it expanded so we can do more than 5 students, because we live in a very unique district where poverty and drug and mental health issues are relevant. There you can definitely see it. It's not something that people talk about, but I'd like to see it expanded to help more people. I think that again, when we could have been written off, me and my brother and sister. Luckily, we have a supportive father who's amazing, and he definitely pushed us along. And eventually, my mom, got clean and was there when we needed her the most. My brother was homeless at 15, and he got to stay with my mom when she was in recovery. I was homeless at 16, and I was able to stay with her at Project Cope, a rehab house that she was at on Rogers Ave. So, at some of the most vulnerable years where you can go down a path of destruction or a path of success, we were able to have my mother with a clear mind there to help us. And I hope to be able to do that for the students of Lynn Public Schools and eventually spread it to the North Shore to make sure that we're not leaving any of these vulnerable students behind.
That's absolutely amazing. And so my final question is a two-parter. First one, how has the community supported you in this process? And also, how can the community get involved?
Okay. I was surprised. We have over 100 donors to the scholarship.
Um,
Yeah, we're over $8,000, so that's enough for 4 scholarships. But what I love is that I'm going to be able to tell these kids, hey, there are at least 100 people in your community that support you, that love you, that decided to give a little bit of what they had towards your future, and that's amazing. And then I can tell them, hey, I've been in your shoes. I'm an attorney. One of the stories that I heard from one of my mom's neighbors was she came over to me and she said, Michael, I just want you to know that your mom was very proud of you. And she said, in spite of me, he succeeded. And I was hurt by that because I'm like, Mom, because of you, I succeeded, not in spite of you. And so that was just playing in my head over and over again. And that was before she passed. So I was able to go up and speak to her as alert as she was. And, just tell her, Mom, you were there all along. You know what I mean? I understand that, during our childhood, we definitely had trials and tribulations, but when we needed you most, you were there, and I appreciate that. But, I'd love for more parents to be able to say, in spite of me, my child succeeded. And I hope that we can do that.
that's absolutely amazing, Attorney Satterwhite. Thank you so much for being on the show today. I really appreciate it, and I truly hope that the foundation grows. And is there a GoFundMe page that people can go through and fundraise or even donate some of their funds to?
Yes. So there is a GoFundMe page. If you just search Brenda Ann Beal Memorial Scholarship, or do that on Facebook, you'll find a link to it. And then there is, if you want to write a check out, it's to the Brenda Ann Beal Memorial Scholarship Fund, and you would just mail it to 41 Bridle Path Road, Lynn, Massachusetts, and we would deposit those funds and obviously apply it towards the scholarship. And we're not going to take anything from this. 100% is going to go towards the scholarships, to support and all that the kids need.
That's absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much again.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
In another edition of the Lynn Lowdown, I'm Wesley Days. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you again.